Yes, and we are live now, and I should have to do this. Look, on air. I mean, actually, my daughter. Those on radio can't see this, but my daughter gave me this as an early Christmas present, an on-air sign, which is wonderful. Yes, very thoughtful. We are now on air. Good morning. You are listening to the IBGR.network, the International Business Growth Radio Network. And I'm your host, Jan Robberts, global influencer, founder of Key Leadership Institute, and founder of JR Speakers Club. I'm a coach, trainer, speaker, values-based leadership specialist, personal profiling consultant, and personal development professional. Just make sure that everybody can hear us. And for more information about me, you can go to the IBGR website and find all the details on my profile and anything else you want to know about me. But it is great that you're here. And by the way, we would love to hear from you in real time during the show. So if you're listening live or even to the recording, then you can always connect and interact with us on social media. That will be Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter on IBGR.network. Now, as I said already, if you're just listening, we are now also on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook Live, we're also on radio. So we have an amazing app too that you can download so you can listen to us wherever you are and you don't have to miss a show anymore. Now, I don't mean necessarily just my show, but we have shows going on 24/7. And whatever you need in the process, wherever you are as an entrepreneur, as a business builder, you know, whether you just have an idea and you're not even haven't opened your doors yet, or whether you're very deep into your entrepreneurial journey, but you need more information about finance, about organization, about customers, about as an executive being on the business rather than in the business, or on a Thursday on the people side, which is where we are, then there is something for everybody here. And on Facebook, I can say like and share this. But of course, also, if you're on radio and you hear something that gels with you, and I see Donna always, she is an amazing person. Her and Bill are the creators of the IBGR.network, and the support is immense and also always very grateful. And Mikael, my Danish friend, already found me as well. Welcome as always. Always appreciative of your support as well. But yeah, so if you are actually building your network, but also if you know other people who need help in their entrepreneurial journey, take them here. You know, you can take them to the website www.ibgr.network. You can take them to the app and get them to download their app, because on the app there's so much more than just the podcasts and the live shows. There is also things about information about all the around about 50 hosts we've got in 149 countries, and I'll stand corrected if that's grown since last week, but 149 countries already in only 3 seasons. So bring them with you, because great leaders never keep information to themselves. They share it with others, and I hope others grow even more than they do. And that's what leadership is all about, and I'll probably talk a lot more into that next week as well. But this particular episode, we're going to talk about consolidating your global influence in our P1 People Lane, People for Success. And I was very late with putting my show notes on, but Donna already assured me, as early as it is in just after 6 o'clock now in America, she's already downloaded the show notes, uploaded the show notes for you to be able to download them. So it's actually amazing, as I said, the support we get here. But you can upload the show notes, but also on the network you can ask questions as well. Now it's wonderful because we are nearly at the end of our 3rd season already. Who would have thought that time would pass so quickly? But it's been an exciting season for many reasons. First of all, we've got to share tips from all different kind of backgrounds, tips, techniques, wisdom. And secondly, we want you, the audience, to ask questions in each and every episode, because what happens is next season it's on-demand radio, and now of course Facebook as well, but you will decide what we talk about by the questions you ask. So if there's anything you need to know, anything you want to get some insight and wisdom and information on, ask the questions. Keep asking the questions, whether it's on our website with that pulsating orange question mark in the bottom corner, or here on Facebook. We will get to it, and you will guide us to next season, what we will be talking about because you, the listener, of course, and the viewer now are the most important to us. So I hope you will participate, ask questions, make comments, and give us feedback, because you will decide how we will move forward. Now, today, as I mentioned, I will be talking about consolidating your global influence. About the need to follow up and be able to communicate clearly with prospective partners and clients. Now, it is very important, because last week I talked about more effective networking, and I'll answer a question as well which was asked afterwards. I noticed it on Facebook, so I will answer that very shortly. But it is so important that not only do you learn to network more effectively, and if you missed that, go back to the website. You can download the podcast there and the show notes as well. But it is very important. But there is more importance, of course, not just connecting with people, but cultivating that relationship into something more fruitful. Whether they become clients right now or not, whether they buy from me right now, it is so important to build effective relationships, whether it's with your partners, with your bank manager, with your clients, with anybody, your suppliers, whoever it is. You need to learn to build. First of all, make the connection, but then build it. And that's what we're really going to talk a lot more into today, to build the proper and effective relationships long term, because that's so important. You don't want to every time try to get connected again, and you've done it so often already. Yes, you thought you were effective in network, and now you've listened to my last show, and now what? I seem to lose them all the time. Or maybe it's the person in the mirror that needs to connect better with the person on the other side. Not in the mirror. I mean, yeah, probably as well. You probably need to connect better with the person looking back in the mirror as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about that actually, because it's very important to get to know yourself as well. How you communicate, and how you can communicate better and more effectively with others. So if this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. And then if you're a returning viewer, I can say that now as well, after having been on Facebook a few times, also welcome back, and like and share this with your friends. But because it's absolutely fantabulous, as I said, 149 countries around the world where people are now listening in every single week. So well done, congratulations, and thank you. So there are many items we as business owners and entrepreneurs must take care of. Many of which were never taught in school, that's for sure. And if you were employed and many years before branching out and going it alone, you coming in for some rude awakenings maybe, because I've already noticed, and you might have noticed that just now, that the distinct differences between being employed and being the boss, the person who will give you the orders, the person will tell you what to do on every given time during the day, is the person looking back in the mirror. Yes, it's you. So that's a big challenge. And when I look back at my life, where I was I made that jump into from employment into entrepreneurship, because I built up. I said it in previous sessions that I knew a long time ago I should have been doing more than I was doing. I never hated my job, but I knew there was more, and I can honestly tell you I definitely was not prepared for what was to come. And many of you probably aren't either. If you're just coming out of the education system, equally so. You're not prepared, because the education system doesn't teach you, your boss doesn't teach you. So many areas that we need to learn things from. But from waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and the decision maker, the planner, the accountant, the person telling me to what to do, the work I have to do in certain times, the chief bottle washer, and so much more, was looking straight back at me. Now, the simple question, now what? Sometimes even, now what, smarty pants? You want to go into the business for yourself, eh? Think you can do that? Now, I mean, of course I wanted that, but as I said, I honestly had no idea when I fired my boss what was awaiting me on the other end. Some would say the dark side, the dark side. Well, I just knew there was more for me. I knew my life had already changed beyond recognition, and through the transformational trip I took to Guatemala in 2013. But I knew it was a case of, if not now, then when? If not who? If not me, then who else? But apart from that, I discovered I knew very little about the real life of a business owner or an entrepreneur. Even my parents had been in business for themselves forever, and I was helping there as well and things like that, but I never knew. And that was an interesting journey, and still is actually. But I have my tremendous partner, Artie Moore, to thank for my sanity. Well, I know it's debatable in some cases, but my continuing education in that department, because she has never worked for anybody else in her life, and besides that, it's also a tremendous. She's a tremendous strategic planner, and for a variety of organizations. So looking back, I dread to think what would have happened in my life and business if I'd been on my own. And that's why here you're not on your own. You'll never be on your own. So if I'd been on my own, the Titanic song was coming into my head for a reason, and I was not about to bring the deck chairs on and watching it all happen to listen to that music. But yeah, here we are. That's why this network is so important for entrepreneurs and business owners. There is so much importance of it, but it's so important because we kind of leave